Hey, what's up, everyone? How you doing? It's me, Mr. 4K Upscaler. Today I want to talk about in this video something that ever since I started doing this, I think it was 2016. Ever since I started doing this 4K TV panels and HDR and Dolby Vision and HDR gaming, etc., etc. Everything combined HDR and different TV panels. And as you know, I have truckload of videos, which I will showcase here. Truckload of videos to prove that. And here is something that has never changed when it comes to so-called TV tech community on YouTube. First of all, everybody's smarty pants. Everybody knows everything. Everyone's a professional all of a sudden, and everybody knows the best. And they're gonna show it to you through a cell phone camera, looking at a television. But you're gonna say, "But Mr. 4K, you use a cell phone camera to showcase what you are doing." Well, that's the magic word, to showcase what I'm doing. And what am I doing is I'm giving you my own custom presets. I'm giving you my own picture settings presets for that panel, specific panel, okay, or that specific monitor or that specific projector. And I would assume that your mind would catch on to the fact that, hey, I cannot judge a quality of a television that's being filmed through a cell phone camera lens and then processed and compressed by YouTube. I shouldn't judge the quality of a television or the quality of a monitor. The color that you see, the exposure of color that you see on well, even here, for example, this video, the latest one I did.
Except you are controlling
the latest one I did. The exposure of color here might look oversaturated to you. That's because the camera lens and the focus and the low light, it's not exposing, cannot depict the correct color through a camera lens. The camera lens cannot depict what you're going to be seeing with your own two retina eyes. Okay, do you guys understand that? That your two eyes in person will depict what this television can do. You cannot judge a television panel or the picture settings from the television panel just by looking at the video on the YouTube. I don't understand why people are doing this. And I see this is something that's been going on since 2016. And I said it millions of times. Even Vincent Teo said it millions of times. Even Evil Boris said it millions of times. Hey guys, you cannot judge a television panel through a YouTube video, because the camera cannot depict the tone of color. The camera cannot depict the correct color, the correct white balance. It cannot depict that contrast ratio. The camera cannot do that. I don't care what kind of camera you're using. It doesn't really matter. Okay. The reason I use my camera is to have a credibility to tell you, hey, I have a C10. Now you know I have a C10 or E8 or Q8FN or Q90R or whatever, or 900E, XE, Sony Bravia, or whatever, whichever panel, right? So that way I can have a credibility to show you, hey, I have this panel, I have this TV, and here are the settings. These are the settings. So I make these videos for you guys to utilize these settings. And you gotta have that TV. If you don't have C10 or C1, then you shouldn't be watching this video. If you don't have that specific panel, then you can't really comment on it because you don't have it. Honestly, you can't comment on something that you don't have, and especially you're commenting on something that you don't have, and you can't even utilize the settings that I'm trying to give you. So how could you even possibly give your opinion on something that you don't have? But if you do have the panel that I have, that I'm giving you the settings, utilize it, use it. It doesn't cost you anything. I don't understand why you guys are asking me to give you the picture settings, and then when I do give you the picture settings, you're bitching and moaning. Use it. Try it. After you try it, then let me know what you think, you know. And I have tons of videos. On self-lit OLED right here. Tons of videos for you guys to check out and see. All right? And the whole point of these videos is for me to talk about the TV, the features that it has, to talk about the HDR game settings that I'm using. That's it. That's the whole point of these videos, to give you my opinions on it and to give you the settings, whether it be a filmmaker mode or HGIG or dynamic tone mapping turned on, or the sharpness or the white balance. Why do I choose the warm 1 versus the cold blue, or what's the other one, warm 2 or warm 3? Why do I choose only to warm 1? All of these things I have actually talked about on my videos here, and I have tons of videos, whether it be a compressed HDR turned on and being compressed, whether it be Dolby Vision on the Avatar, and I talked about that too. I have all these videos for you guys to see, but please do not judge these videos based on what you see. You need to utilize these settings. You need to buy the TV. If you don't have a TV, then you don't know what C10 can do. You don't know how these settings will look if you utilize them, if you have that TV. And this is the issue and the problem that I see with today's YouTube TV tech community. Everybody knows everything and everybody's a smarty pants. Yet when you click on some of these individuals, they have nothing on their profile. They have nothing. At least maybe just show me that you have a TV. Just show me the unbox. Just at least that you have a TV. Because if you haven't even tried the settings that I'm trying to give you, and you're judging the quality of the television based on what you're seeing. This right here, this, you don't know how this looks. The camera can see this exposure. The camera cannot depict what your own 2 retina eyes will see. All right? But what's the point of this video? The whole point of this video is for me to tell you about the gaming features when it comes to low latency and 13 millisecond response time, to talk about the low latency that the LG C10 has, and the use of HDMI 2.1 ultra high speed inputs, on top of obviously the G-Sync and the FreeSync, and a instant game response, which gives you that 13 millisecond response time. So that's the whole point of these videos. It's not for me to showcase oh, look, this is how it looks. This right here, this really doesn't really show you how beautiful this looks. And you cannot really see, the camera cannot depict how beautiful this is. You have to see it with your own two retina eyes. You have to see it in person, okay? And what's the point of this video? It's me talking about the burn-in and how I never had this issue. Giving my own personal experience about the OLED. This is my 5th OLED. Yes, I had 5 different OLEDs in the past, and I haven't had a single issue with a burn-in. I still have my E8 for 3 years, and I still haven't had a single issue. So when I think about the TV tech community, I don't know what to think about it. Because if you are judging the quality of that TV panel through a camera and a processed video, then you shouldn't be in the TV tech community. Okay? You shouldn't be there. That's my honest opinion. I don't know what else to tell you. What you should do is you should try the settings that I'm giving you. And then, once you try the settings, you can say, hey, dude, I would have moved the sharpness a little bit higher, or I would have moved it all the way down, or I wouldn't use the dynamic contrast. I would turn that off. I would leave it on a medium, or I wouldn't use the warm one. I would keep it at the medium tone mapping as far as the white balance. Or maybe you have a specific settings on the white balance to give me that best possible tone of color, and then you can go ahead and you can give me your own white balance custom preference, right? You're supposed to give me a feedback. You're supposed to check my settings, and then after you try them on that TV that I am giving you the settings on, you're supposed to give me a feedback. Say, all right, dude, I tried those settings on that C10 or that E8 or that Q8FN or whatever, right? I tried it. Here's what I would recommend. But you guys are not doing that. Everybody's just bitching and moaning, acting like they know everything. Everyone's professional, yet half of these individuals don't even understand how HDR works. There's people who don't even understand how HDR works. You're going to talk to me about HDR slider. You're going to talk to me about the white levels versus black levels. You're going to talk to me about the UHD color. You're going to talk to me about color accuracy on certain televisions. But you're going to talk to me about HDR, but you don't even understand difference between the Dolby Vision and HDR, metadata. I'm sorry, I say metadata. Do you even have the basic knowledge of what HDR is, what high dynamic range is, and why does high dynamic range requires peak brightness, brighter TVs? Why does HDR requires your white levels to be brighter? Why do you need that contrast between the black levels and the white levels on top of the UHD color, 10-bit color? And that 10-bit color of that TV, it's measured with the spectrum of colors that it has. Some TVs have a higher spectrum of colors than the others, and they're being measured with a DCI-P3 color measurement. Okay, what's the color accuracy on this full white color gamut TV? If it's 87, if it's 90, then that's great. But I have people, like, for example, this guy right here, comment on me, talk about, he says, first off, the sun image is not meant to disappear, barely disappear. Otherwise, it would look too bright. That is not the way it should be. Well, that's exactly how it should be. And if you have any understanding of how HDR works, you would understand why it needs to be bright. But since you don't have any basic understanding of HDR, then that's why you don't know. when you turn the HDR off, that's where you don't want to overblow your white levels, because you don't have HDR. You're running it on a standard 8-bit. On the standard 8-bit, or even a standard 10-bit, without HDR, you're not supposed to overblow your white levels. That's where you're not supposed to do it. On HDR, you need it. You need that tone mapping to be brighter. You need that white levels to be brighter and the black levels to be darker. But not to the point where they're being crushed. Okay? And that's why you need a television that can utilize a much brighter peak brightness. But if you knew all of that, if you had any understanding of that, maybe you would know how HDR works. And again, I'm not trying to be, an asshole. I'm not trying to be rude here, but this is what I'm dealing with when it comes to so-called TV tech community. Everybody's smarty pants. Everybody understands everything. Everybody's the greatest. Yet people always ask me for the settings. If you're so professional, if you're such a pro, and if you know what you're doing, then what are you asking me for? If you have that 3,000, 4,000, 10,000, Kelvin, whatever, calibrating equipment, let's say $3,000 Kelvin calibrating equipment. If you got all of that, then you don't need my opinion. You don't need my advice on the picture settings. Excuse me. Then you're good to go. But you still come back to me. You still ask me for the settings. Maybe because I'm still relevant. Maybe because people come back to me because they did try these settings and they say, hey, dude, I love these settings. They look great. I enjoy them. Do you know how many times people have actually, all these videos that you see down below, how many times people have actually sent me a message through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and other social media? They would tell me, hey, dude, I really appreciate your settings. I really do. So many have done that. Do you know why? Because they used my settings. They actually used it. I said, hey, I'm going to use these settings. Doesn't cost me anything. If I don't like it, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to go back to my original presets. But they actually used my settings. So that's how I feel about TV tech community. Which pretty much goes the same thing as far as any other community, whether it's the gaming community, TV tech community. Everyone's a smart ass. Everybody on the internet, it's a smart ass. Everybody knows everything, right? When all I'm trying to do is give people my presets. If you don't like them, don't use them. But I don't need you to educate me, dude. I've been doing this for a long time. Okay, I actually learn about this stuff. I don't just go and jump in. All right. People ask me about the ABL, automatic brightness limiter on the OLED. Yeah, I'm aware of ABL. But it was never a problem for me. People say this is why you shouldn't have OLED and why you should have LED, because with the ABL, because with LG OLED with organic light emitting diodes, you can never achieve that perfect white definition. I cannot talk today. Must be my Moderna second shot. People tell me, because of the ABL, automatic brightness limiter, the way the OLED it's designed, the nature of the OLED panel, this is the reason why you can never get a proper white definition. And for the most parts, I agree, is true. I agree. But the trade-off is the black levels. You're not going to get that on your LED, on your LED LCD, which is the liquid crystal display, if you want to know what the LCD stands for. And it has LEDs behind it. Array of LEDs behind it. But you cannot achieve that. You can't achieve those black levels on your LCD LED, no matter how many local dimming zones you put. However, you can achieve that with the OLED, because it's self-emitting technology. But it was never a problem for me. I never even noticed it to be a problem as far as the definition of the white levels. Really, who is the person that's nitpicking this? The person who is nitpicking this is usually somebody who needs the some kind of controversy or some kind of talking bits to get things going on the forums, to get the traffic going. And I blame Vincentio for this too. I blame the Artings for this too, because they want you to get these talking points, to push the traffic. You see, and people who don't know anything about televisions, they're gonna think, oh my God. So that means that my definition of the white levels will be all washed out, and it's not gonna be a proper definition of the white levels because of the ABL and the nature of the OLED. Maybe I should stick with the LCD LED. And then people got this idea in their heads, when in fact it was never a problem for me after all these years. And I have a QLED, and I can't for the life of me see what exactly people are talking about. But that's the TV tech community for you. So that's all I want to say. Guys, I've been doing this for a long time. I don't need anybody to educate me or to tell me anything about televisions, man. I live and breathe televisions. I live and breathe. I sleep with the television panels, bro. Okay? Literally, I do. Okay? So I really don't need, to be, pampered or educated. Okay? Unless we're talking about a new panel, like micro LED. But as far as the liquid crystal display, LED, as far as the organic light emitting diodes, as far as the monitor panels like a TN panel, twisted pneumatic, or what's the other panel? VA panel, vertical alignment. Whether we're talking vertical alignment monitors or twisted pneumatic monitors or in-plane switching IPS monitors, projectors, I'm familiar with all of that. DLP projectors with a shifter spinning wheel versus the LED projectors versus the laser projectors, short throw projectors. Guys, I have all of that. I'm familiar with all of that. I have over 6,000 videos for that. So all I'm trying to say is this before I end this video. Don't judge the quality of TV panel based on a YouTube video that's shot with a camera from a phone. Don't do that. You're not doing yourself a favor. What you should do is purchase that TV, bring it home, and then use my settings and utilize the settings that I just gave you, and then you can give me the feedback. That's how it's supposed to work. And then you give me the feedback, and then you say, okay, this is how I feel about the settings that you put on this game presets, or this movie presets, or this sports presets. That's how I feel. That's what you're supposed to be doing, and not judging television or a monitor or a projector based on what you see through camera on a compressed video. That's all I wanted to say here on this video. I don't want to be butchering this video for too long, but I just felt like this is something I should say. I know it's a long video, but there was no any other way for me to make this video than 25 minutes, because again, the fact that I even have to make this video, it's pretty sad, and it really tells you everything you need to know about so-called TV tech community. Alright guys, I'll catch you later. I have another video regarding the Paramount Plus. I want to talk about the Paramount Plus and the features that it has and all that, the Paramount Plus service. Okay, so I'll catch you guys later. Take care.